Congressman, thank you so much for doing this. We're from India today. Interestingly, you're the person who named Samosa Caucus.
Yeah.
An Indian American is going to get nominated tomorrow as the president. What are your thoughts on that?
It's the ultimate member of the Samosa Caucus. Look, I think that it's such a point of pride. I think people are bursting with enthusiasm over the fact that Kamala Harris could become president. There's tremendous momentum for her right this moment, but we have a long road ahead. I mean, we still have 76 days, which is an eternity in politics. So we have to roll up our sleeves, and as Michelle Obama so eloquently said, we have to do something. We have to do something to get her across the finish line.
In your opinion, what are some of the issues that voters have in their mind? Because, there are a lot of independent voters who haven't made up their mind yet. So what are some of the issues you think Democrats need to, sort of nail the message?
I think that we obviously have to deal with the border situation and immigration. We have to deal with the cost of living and whether inflation and high prices are going to be something that we can rein in. I think that we also have to deal with some kind of perception that Democrats may not be as strong as Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we have a lot going for us. Namely, we have an excellent candidate who has really inspired a nation, who's really galvanized the coalition, especially in light of the fact that Donald Trump is on the other side. And secondly, that our fundamental freedoms are on the line, including reproductive freedoms.
If I were to ask you something on the lines of, you are the chairman of the communist, the Chinese. I'm sorry, forgetting the name, but the Chinese, the ranking member. My bad.
Yeah.
On the China committee. What kind of threat do you perceive? If like right now, as in we saw that the news came out about nuclear threats. Or the U.S. changing its nuclear policy. What kind of threats do you anticipate in coming months or years from China?
Well, I think that China has been throwing its elbows economically, militarily, technologically against its neighbors, against our friends and partners throughout the Indo-Pacific region, and for that matter in other parts of the world too. And so that's why it's so important that we band together, whether it's the U.S. and India or the U.S. and its other partners and allies, to set the international rules of the road on how certain things are beyond the pale, such as trying to change the borders of another sovereign country, or violating the fundamental human rights of people, as the CCP is doing with regard to the Uyghurs or the Tibetans or Hong Kongers, or for instance, dumping goods on the international market in a bid to undercut competition and destroy competition. I mean, these are the types of things that we have to kind of work with other countries to make clear are unacceptable.
One last question. We saw India's relationship grow under President Joe Biden. If Trump was to win, or he were to win, do you think that there will be any impact on a U.S. relationship in India?
Yes, I think that while I do see the relations always continuing to improve, I'm concerned that someone like Donald Trump could destabilize other relationships that could, negatively impact the security situation around the world, and that's not a good thing for anybody.
And what would you say to all Indian Americans who are watching this, especially in the swing states who haven't made up their mind who to vote for? What would you tell them right now?
It's time to vote for Kamala Harris. There's no question in my mind. I think the vast majority of Indian Americans are going to do that. As I like to say, she's going to bring curry powder to the White House. It's going to be a great moment. But in all seriousness, Kamala Harris is the type of person who knows the struggles of an immigrant family, knows the struggles of being someone who's not necessarily in the mainstream, who knows the hardships of everyday people. And so we want someone like that in the White House because they'll be fighting for you, not for themselves.
All right, Congressman, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much.